Hello, it's Robin Fowler, and this is my presentation to you about my research strategies. First off, it's really important to keep organized. If we're looking at 50 documents, 100 documents, it's hard to remember where things came from and why you chose them. And my research of looking at two different things and how to make them come together into one thing. So I want to keep everything in a document, a Google Doc or a Word doc or whatever you're comfortable with. I like a Google Doc because I can look at it I can be somewhere and look at it without having to have my computer with me. Typical. Putting the source in, know where it's coming from, also why you are using it, and then all the different applicable links. Some researchers have podcasts and blogs, and it's nice to put all that together. And then it's copying the abstract in there is good too, looking exactly why and what is going on in that article. That way you can pick and choose as you go along. The search, of course, we want to use peer-reviewed articles, which we understand peer review. Forsyth Library has a lot of great databases. I might end up in EBSCO all the time. Google Scholar, I use it as well, but you can't do much Boolean searches in there. Like you can't really put in peer review. So the Google search does let you add Boolean searches, so you can throw in the peer review in there. And I also like books. Try to read a lot of books. I'm doing some stuff with world languages, so there's still some great older research about world languages and teaching them with communicative style, which is what I'm looking at. The next thing is to just understand the anatomy of an article. We've all looked at a lot of articles, so I think we're pretty good on those kinds of things. The thing is we need to really dissect these articles as we're picking them, looking at the abstract first, see if it's what we want to talk about, look at the introduction, get a feel for what the research is really about, and then I like to look at the conclusion discussion to see if it's what I want to do, and then also take a look at any kind of charts, graphs that are in the methodology section. Time management is really key to having really great writing. A lot of us we understand rushed writing. It's not always our best writing, but it's important to really take the time to think about what you're doing, the critical thinking part of it, and having some absorption rates and learning new things and where to apply them. Sometimes that comes with you in time. If you don't have a colleague-to-colleague discussion, like we are all remote, so we don't really have our jam sessions and our cram sessions, but a lot of plagiarism leads to lack of time. We forget to cite a source, or we get lazy. Many of us don't choose to plagiarize, and I hope none of us do that intentionally. It's easy to cut and paste and put it in there, and maybe sometimes forget about it, or we paraphrase it. So I think if we take our time, manage our time well, we'll miss all of those problems. Then we need to apply this to our research. I kind of looked at the 4 basics that came out of the Introduction to Educational Research article, the basic applied evaluation and action, and I was looking at how anything that we could do, we could use any of these kinds of things. If we're looking at something new, I'm looking at world languages, communicative style of world languages taught remotely. So there may not be a lot about that, so I may have to find a lot of that, or I might have to just do a basic research to just generate some beginning knowledge. Applied, I could use applied, which could be answering a question. Lots of people want remote learning, world languages learning. It's an area where it's not necessarily instructor-based. It's mostly app-based or program-based, like Babbel and all these different apps, which are great, but they're still not instructor-led. And then I could also be using evaluation. So maybe I look at what other people are doing. The state of Arkansas has Virtual Arkansas, and they do have world language is offered there, and I would look and see what they're doing and what other people are doing, and also intend looking in Europe and what those guys are doing as well. And then I could do it as an action where there is a problem, and I'm trying to solve this problem. So those are the areas where I'm going to see where my research actually applies. Thank you, and see you later.